Hello world, I was Super Test coming live from Web3, and today we're going to be talking about three core concepts to drop an NFT collection. Now keep in mind this is theory based, we haven't launched and pushed our collection. So after this push, we shall see if this theory holds weight. But basically taking a look and observing the markets and using a business operation standpoint, always looking at metrics where KPIs, OKRs, or quantifiable procedures that will lead to an outcome that is desirable. In the case of an NFT collection, the desired outcome is to sell out, right? To generate this momentum, to build a community and develop this identity for the collection. So keeping that in mind, we are taking the next steps on working for our scholars NFT. So to give a brief overview of what scholars are, we're essentially building a collection for the internet learners, the autodidacts, the people that self-educate themselves online. Personal story with this is I've learned mostly all my competency and skills in education on the internet. However, when it came to apply to jobs or to apply careers, or even to say my level of education, I can't say autodidact. I can't say I'd learned on the internet. It doesn't carry validity. And that was the origin of Learn. So many side quests to challenge this issue. But we know there's thousands and millions of people out there that learn online. And the scholar entity is something that's relatable to these people. So a scholar is someone who learns online. That's the simple answer. Now, to get the scholar collection out, we have to get people to believe in it. We have to create a good product and we have to execute effectively. And those are the three core bases for a collection. So I'll start off with the product. Essentially what an NFT is, the first level of the product is the art. Does the art stand out and will people represent what is being created? A lot of these NFTs are copy and paste, very simple swaps to the assets, and there's no true creativity and character development to the asset. The NFTs are very weak and limited. So we are taking the creative boundary to make our collection very dynamic, where a scholar essentially all look fairly rare. Of course, there will be more common attributes, but we are taking the time to add a lot of creative juices that the assets don't look like traditional collections. I guess the most comparable collection we're referencing from is the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. If you take a look at the level of art that they dropped in that collection, it's very impressive. But even Mutant Ape Yacht Club, the whole premise is around this ape. And we're thinking a little bit bigger picture than that. The whole concept of this is you have to have good art. That's going to be the stepping stone for the product. Now, where it transitions to a mesh, and it'll be the third point, is what this product can do. And this is with execution, utility. How can this NFT be an asset or some form of utility that isn't just based off pure speculation? So I'll touch on this in a few minutes. Second point is shilling and marketing and getting people to believe. If you can't create a narrative, an identity, and a philosophy that gravitates people, then no one's gonna buy. And this is the interesting thing, that the market is doing half the work right now. People love NFTs. If you see a bad collection but somewhat cool, it's gonna sell because people want to buy. We are definitely in a bear market. We're seeing some changes where altcoins and ETH reaching all-time high is definitely changing the dynamics of the market, but NFTs are selling. It's a very lucrative product to create once post-launch, and it's an everlasting asset if the transaction and the momentum stays behind it. But you need to get the people to believe. You need to foster this community. You need to create this identity that people will be proud to represent, and you need to foster internal relationships between the users. That way it's not just a standalone product that someone is holding. It's something bigger. And this goes into the third point, which is execution and the vision. So this is probably the biggest area because it entitles the smart contracts, the code, the technicalities, making sure there's no rug pull or hacking exploit. So making sure that there's a strong dev team, people are following the rules, and then also evolving the collection, because you can start off with a simple art collection with no utility, but then you can add a DAO, then you can add staking, then you can create a vault, then you can create a token, and then you can create internal economics for utility, and then you can create a metaverse, and then you can create storefronts, and then you can use this token for gamification. There's so many variables that can spawn off this utilization, but the team has to execute this. It has to keep the trust of the community. It has to be proving the milestones, and it has to be valid, because if it's just theory and no execution is gonna get there, then it's not gonna lead anywhere, right? And this is where with scholars, thinking all these variables from the art, the philosophy behind the scholar, and then the execution. The best thing about us is that we have years of building. We're not first time team launching something. We've launched an actual startup. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 5 years. I understand how to deal with uncertainty. I know how to market. I know how to scale a product. I know how to get user adoption. I've had skill sets under my belt that will be utilized in the creation of this collection. And the best thing of all is that the collection is not our end goal. We're not saying the entire vision is to drop an NFT collection. We're thinking so ambitious in this collection. We're thinking really creating this entirety of a metaverse and a protocol. I think that's the key word, with the capabilities. Now, it's important to distinguish that we are going to be building Learnio and Scholars collection in a different and unique position for the sake of security. Actually, for the sake of security for ourselves. But the reason I'm smiling is because you can't claim an NFT as a security. If you do, the SEC is going to come at the project, and there's going to be a lot of issues. So we're operating simultaneous projects, and to keep transparency clear, is the Scholar is not a security for Learnio to receive funding, and the success of Learnio is not dependent on Scholars. So we have to make sure that the transparency is there. However, us as a team, us as visionaries, we know that the Scholar collection is not the end goal. We're building something, let me say this for the first time on web. This is probably one of the most profound, innate, beautiful concepts that we've created. And we want to build something called Cognia. This is the land and space of education, where we physically buy land. We create a beautiful real estate experience where it's a building. Everything you need to learn and have a good experience is here. Cognia will be a mesh of Disneyland, a university, and the cathedral. We're taking holy elements to this level. Education is one of the most profound, respectable things in the world, and there should be a space for this. We're not just thinking physical. Of course, for our users that are not available to have it within the peripheral access, we're going to build it on the digital space as well. And with Cognia, we're going to change the world. It gets me so excited because we're going to build something that is going to carry so much weight. It's going to create a lot of history, a lot of momentum, a lot of culture, a lot of vision. And the best thing of all is that's going to be a space for people like us, where it's not just about being isolated anymore. You will have a place to go hang out, to go learn, to go expand and grow, to meet people. You can meet your potential future mate. You can meet your future best friends. You can meet people of similar interests. You can meet people of complete polarizing interests, but you're curious for the sake of their take and perspective, and maybe you adopt their perspective and their philosophy. This is the essence of Cognia, and Scholars will be a step to get to this point, and we're very excited. And this goes to the third point, right? We have art, point one. We have marketing and belief and chilling under point two, and then we have the execution. So meshing these three, we will essentially get to the end goal, into the vision, and who knows where it's going to be. Hopefully it will be Cognia, but the future is uncertain. But we have our North Star, and we're working day in, day out to make sure it's reality. Trust me, the past couple meetings with the team have been laser focused, lots of questions, a lot of checklists, a lot of areas to specialize and focus. That way the knots are tied and everything is airtight. Okay, so it's Friday night. I need to definitely take a moment to unwind. I have been experiencing tastes of burnout. I don't like being in that space. This week was very good for me to grind and execute, be extremely effective, yet also treat myself with self-love and respect, that I set appropriate boundaries for me, literally for my glucose, for my brainstem to heal a bit, because we're here for the long term. You know, we just want to keep grinding, and burn out and move away from the grand picture. All right, so if you're watching this, thank you. Really respect your time and your attention. If I could ask for something, please go like my pinned tweet. It's the story of Learn and Learnio and Scholars, everything we've gone through. Go follow Scholar NFT on Twitter. Give us a like on the roadmap. Go retweet it, share it to your friends. And we're going to be announcing a whitelist very soon. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll get you on the whitelist. Okay, so thank you so much, and I will see you on Monday. I will not be recording this weekend. I need to get some reading for myself. All right, so I'll see you soon.